Starts right now.
A barrage of bullets in West Bexar County. Video shows what the sheriff is calling a drunken act of stupidity. Fortunately, no one was hurt in all this.
Well, the evidence is now leading to an arrest, and the thing is that more could be coming. 22-year-old Genesis Rodriguez now facing a third-degree felony.
Investigators say she also had a protective order and violated it by having that handgun. Tonight, we've learned some of those bullets fired that night actually did hit at least one home. The night team's John Paul Barajas speaks with the woman who says they found one of those bullets by their 9-year-old's bed.
A drunken drive-by joyride shared on social media. You see a woman aimlessly shooting at homes in West Bexar County. A woman we spoke to says one of those bullets came flying into her 9-year-old son's room.
I can't have children again. You know, that's my baby, that's my son, and it's my husband's only son, you know, and it's frightening.
She wished to remain anonymous, but believes the bullet came in from the back of the home into the master bedroom closet, piercing a tie before making it into her son's room through his wooden Batman poster. The family found the bullet casing on the ground next to where their son was sleeping Thursday morning.
He's scared. I mean, my daughter, the sounds were so loud. It was just one right after another. He just feels the need to want to hug us and love on us more, and you know, just thankful that he's here. He's just happy he's here.
It didn't take long to make an arrest after deputies learned what happened. Investigators linked the video to 22-year-old Genesis Rodriguez. She shied away from the cameras, but will now have to face the charges against her.
Out drinking and had a gun and decided it was a good idea to drive through a neighborhood shooting in the dead of night. And just by God's grace, nobody was hurt or killed as a result of their stupidity.
Sheriff Javier Salazar believes more arrests will be made in this case. The woman we spoke to says she's counting her blessings and thanks the heroes who made the arrest, as well as the one who wears the cape.
Batman really is a true superhero, and he took a bullet for my son.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Frozen in fear as a pistol is pointed at her face. That's what the victim of a road rage shooting told police about this incident in the middle of a busy interstate during rush hour. With more cases happening in San Antonio, the night team's Patty Santos asked what you should do if you encounter an angry and different breed of dangerous driver.
$5,000, that's how much money you might get if you help San Antonio police identify and arrest this man. Video shows the suspect pulling a gun on a 55-year-old driver in mid-July. The police report says the victim unintentionally cut off the driver while on I-10 near South New Braunfels. The victim says the driver continued to follow her despite her attempts to get away.
What the is your problem?
Church police referenced this video shared on social media in their own road rage investigation. You can see a man confronting the driver and slapping her on the chest. KSAT obtained a copy of the report filed with Church police. The victim says it started when she attempted to pass the driver.
Seems to be a lot more road rage incidents now than there were before.
Marcos Alonso, owner of a driving school, always reminds students that Texas is an open carry state.
What we tell students is that if a person is being a bit aggressive, the best thing you can do is not engage, don't make eye contact, move over, let them get by you if that's what they want. If they're just riding your bumper, slow down.
He reminds all drivers, lay off the horn, back off the bumper, and don't make hand gestures that could elevate the rage.
It takes two to tango, right?
And police offer similar advice, saying if you encounter a belligerent driver, head to the nearest police or fire station, and of course call 911. Alonso also reminds us we don't know the mental health of the other individual. They could be a ticking time bomb, and maybe your honking sets them off. Steve, Stefania?
All right, good advice there. Thank you, Patty. In other news, the public corruption trial of Michelle Barrientos Vela just wrapped its first week of testimony. She's the former Bexar County constable accused of fabricating security payment logs for Rodriguez Park. A clerk who used to work for her told the court that she was the one who notified the Texas Rangers. Susan Tristan says that she then spoke with the FBI, who gave her a secret recording device. She used it and captured multiple conversations with Barrientos Vela. Here's the thing, though. None of them actually showed anything incriminating. We're going to hear more testimony next week. Barrientos Vela faces up to 10 years in prison if she's convicted. Now to an update on those new COVID-19 boosters. The FDA expected to approve Pfizer's new shot within a week. That shot is designed to protect against the Omicron strains and older variants. The CDC's advisory committee is going to discuss that booster next Thursday or Friday. And by the way, Moderna has also submitted its own updated booster.
Now for a look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. 2 calls, 2 minutes apart, tipped off police to a murder scene. They say the man who called them admitted he hurt someone and that he, quote, found the stairway to heaven, end quote. Officers responded to a home on Inglewood Drive this morning. Police said the man who called them eventually let them into that home. That's when they found a man dead in a pool of his own blood. The investigators say the victim was apparently visiting when he was stabbed and killed. Pieces of evidence improperly thrown out at the Schertz Police Department. And today we've learned it's impacted more than 1,000 cases. Some of those cases were in Bexar and Comal counties, the majority in Guadalupe County, including 12 cases that were dismissed due to this one error. It's a story we've followed since July. You can also see our coverage on KSAT.com. And more details on that search at former President Donald Trump's home in Florida. A redacted version of the affidavit in that search was released today. In it, we learned the search in August sparked by a discovery made in January. At the start of the year, Trump turned over 15 boxes of material to the National Archives. That includes 184 classified documents. 25 of those were marked top secret. In August, more classified documents were found. Details about how the FBI learned that more documents were in Mar-a-Lago completely blacked out. Investigators say it was to protect witness identities. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Coming up, the marching band taking to the field at Matador Stadium in Seguin tonight. Sky 12 right there showing us a glimpse of the stands and those Friday night lights. Our Greg Simmons has your big game coverage.
And we are just hours away from the triple header at the Alamo Dome. Athletes, parents, band, performers, they are sharing their excitement for the KSAT Pigskin Classic. What you should know if you still don't have a ticket, or if you do. It's next on the Nightbeat.
I know you're excited. We're just hours away from kicking off the first ever KSAT Pigskin Classic. VIP tickets, those are already sold out.
Yeah,
but you can still get a general admission ticket to join in on the fun.
And we hope you do. It's going to be a high school football extravaganza. 6 schools, 3 games at one place, the Alamo Dome. The night team's John Paul Barajas checked in with some of the parents and players ahead of kickoff tomorrow.
Good conditioning isn't a must just for the football team, but everyone involved in the games to those packing the stands. The KSAT Pigskin Classic is going to be an all-day football fanatic paradise at the Alamo Dome. And that'll be making dreams come true starting at kickoff.
Obviously, as a kid, I used to go to the games that would be at the Alamo Dome, and I used to tell myself, one day I want to play there.
For others, their dreams will need to be earned.
I dream about it every night. A pick six in the dome, who doesn't want to have that?
The excitement on the field extends to the band, the cheerleaders, athletic trainers, ROTC, and the parents.
Every Saturday, you've got UTSA playing in the dome, and you're right there on the cusp, and if you're dreaming big, working hard, then you get that experience.
I have a daughter who's on color guard, and she's super excited about joining the football team out there.
The first ever event has the city buzzing about the atmosphere and what tomorrow will bring for those in attendance.
At a big stage, you dream about that for your kids all the time. I don't know an event where there have been back-to-back games the way that it's going to be for there.
As for the schools competing, they're fired up and ready to make history in the inaugural games.
To be able to, one day tell that story that you were part of the first Pigskin Classic game.
Get in there, get into it.
Kick off the season right with a bang, televised. What's not to love about 6A high school football?
Now, you just heard it right there. What's not to love? It's going to be a full day of football action, and I can't wait. Now, as we already mentioned, if you haven't got a ticket yet, a little bit of bad news. KSAT Insiders VIP passes are sold out, but the silver lining is general admission tickets are still available, and you can buy them here at the Alamo Dome. At the box office, they'll be open at 9:30. The kickoff for the 3 games will be at 11:30 a.m., 3:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. You're not going to want to miss it. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. Now, we know the Little League World Series will also be taking place tomorrow. Fans can catch those games as well. We're going to be streaming ABC's coverage of the Little League World Series on our website tomorrow during those football games on KSAT.com.
And you know where we are right now? The Alamo Dome. Live
Gotta be.
picture right there tonight. You know that place, doesn't matter what the temperature's like outside, it's going to be hot, hot, hot right there tomorrow because all the people are going to be there.
You're going to be out there. Yep. I'm going to be out there. Adam, of course, will be out there.
Oh, you
with
know
some
I'll
surprises.
Be out there. I've been busy. Oh, I can hardly move it. There we go. That's just a fraction of the T-shirts I've been rolling up, ready to launch out of my canyon. It's not just for Fiesta folks. It's even for our Pigskin Classic. Be launching these T-shirts tomorrow. All right, let's get into the forecast. Pretty quiet weekend. Yeah, 10% chance of a few afternoon showers. I mean, that's it. We're looking at an isolated pop-up shower here and there. And what we had out there earlier this afternoon, obviously, is all come to an end. It's very quiet. You look at the rain chances into next week, we bump them back up to 30-40% toward the middle part of the week. There is the potential of seeing a more promising pattern for rainfall as we get into next week, but it's not a slam dunk quite yet. Here's a look at the 12-hour rainfall. And you look off to the east, parts of Lavaca County, DeWitt County, especially Victoria to Goliad, some good soaking rain. And keep in mind, when you see this map, the yellow indicates 2 inches or more of rainfall. We got that just south of D'Hanis, south of Sabinal and Hondo, and then even in parts of San Antonio. Far south side, really cashing in on this situation here. These yellows right near Mission San Jose and McCollum High School, 2 inches of rain there near Terrell Wells. So it's good to see that. Good to see a few soakers out there. And actually, we captured one of them on our time lapse from our city cam. Let's just look at that rain pour out of it. 94, that was our high temperature today, the average being 95. And I think we'll pretty much be right near average through this weekend. But the tropical air mass stays in place. That means thick humidity. 83 outside right now, but 79 Hondo and Uvalde, 85 in Cotulla, Kennedy right now, 80 degrees. Temperatures have really equalized quite a bit from what they were this afternoon. Earlier today, we were mid-90s under the sun, northern Bexar County up into Comal County, New Braunfels. Meanwhile, where we had the rain, we were down in the 70s. But now everybody's pretty similar. Gonzales, 81. It's the dewies, though, these dew points into the 70s, and we're not going to get a break from that. Quite often this time of year, we see the dew points significantly drop off to near 60 or upper 50s in the afternoon. That's not going to be the case. Not in this tropical air mass. The oppressive humidity, dewies in the 70s all day long. Quick look at the tropics. System just off the coast of Africa, about a 30% chance of development over the next 5 days. And another one moving into the Caribbean. This one has a slight chance of development right now at 20% over the next 5 days. Tomorrow we start the day at 76. By the afternoon, we're mid-90s, just a 10% chance. So a few highly isolated little tropical downpours in the afternoon. Sunday's going to be identical, mid-90s for high temperatures. And then next week, with those slightly elevated rain chances, we do also drop the temperatures a little closer to 90. But bottom line, still sailing under 100.
Okay, not complaining.
Woo, was that me?
I don't know. That was a little feedback there. I am hoping before the newscast is over, I can take one of these and see if I can knock down the Mr. Whipple pile of
the carnival over there.
Of the shirts that he has over there. All right, first big night.
Yeah, first full Friday night here, and this is a precursor, of course, to KSAT's Pigskin Classic 2022 tomorrow in the Alamo Dome. But the Alamo Dome actually hosted a part of that tonight here with their very first game in the Dome, and also the first varsity game for the newest high school in San Antonio, Sotomayor.
Hi, we're the O'Connor Panther cheerleaders, and you're watching big game coverage on KSAT 12. Let's go, Panthers!
Yes, you are. The big game and a big game coverage in this first full Friday night of high school football season. A neighborhood rivalry between the Brandeis Broncos, O'Connor Panthers, who pick up the action first quarter. The Panthers holding a 3-0 lead, but not for long. Quarterback J.C. Evans keeps it on the option, makes a couple of quick moves to break out of the pocket. He's off to the races. Evans picks up a nice downfield block there to spring him down the sideline for the 44-yard score, 7-3 Broncos. The final from the Dome, it is 27-17 Brandeis. The Harlan Hawks open up their season at the Hive at East Central tonight. First quarter, Hawks in the red zone. zone. Quarterback Peyton Matthews swings it out to Jacob Gonzalez on the wide receiver screen. He splits not one pair of defenders, but two. Lunges in for the 16-yard score, 7-0 Harlan, but the Hornets sting back. Quarterback Austin Bevere fakes a handoff, stands in the pocket, delivers a deep strike over the middle to Avery Kane, turns it upfield, and that's a foot race. Good goal all the way, but he gets tripped up at the 5-yard line. East Central would punch it in from there to tie the game at 7-all. Let's head to the big game coverage scoreboard versus finals. How about this? Wagner on the road falls to Liberty Hill 35-21. Brandeis over O'Connor in the Alamodome 27-17. Taft with a big win over Victoria East 42-13. Harlan over East Central 33-7. The Bernie champion Charger Nation is in full force tonight against Laredo United South and Bernie. First quarter champion with the ball. They turn it to the ground game with Cole Reha, who powers his way up the middle for the 10-yard gain. Later in the drive, Jordan Ballin swings it out to Reha in the flat. Scampers in for the touchdown. 7-0 lead. The final from Bernie right there. 27-22 champion. Moment of silence was held at Comalander Stadium tonight for veteran and award-winning broadcaster Gary DeLon. We lost earlier this year. It's Stevens against Churchill. And even though the Falcons have the ball, the Chargers strike first. Linebacker Cooper Coons with a leaping interception. He's off running this one to the house with a 35-yard pick six. 7-0 Churchill. Does Churchill hang on for it? And they do. 31-28 holding off Stevens. This is a good sign if you're a Roosevelt fan with the Rough Riders ROTC doing push-ups for points. Roosevelt up 14-7 second quarter. Rough Riders defense forcing Del Rio to punt. Andrew Price bobbles the catch. Could have been a disaster, but he's able to scoop it up. Dodging the defender. He's got some daylight ahead of him. He follows his blockers downfield. He's gone for the sideline here. That's an 85-yard punt return to make it 21-7 Roosevelt. Back to the big game coverage scoreboard for that final. 43-21 Roosevelt with a big win. Churchill holding off Stevens 31-28. Seguin over Alamo High. So remember, that is in the fourth quarter right now, and they have a bunch of suspended players for hazing in that game. And Champion over Laredo United South 27-22. Southwest Legacy student section all fired up when they arrive at Legacy Stadium against Burbank. No score in the first quarter. Bulldogs take a bite out of the Titans here. Quarterback Kevin Hernandez drops back, goes deep down the sideline to Jared Romero, who makes a great catch between two defenders. He's taken it all the way for the 57-yard score, 7-0. Let's see if that has gone final. It has. Burbank with a big win, 24-7. Veterans Memorial cheerleaders are happy with what they see as the Patriots are facing off against Harlandale Indians. The Patriots are up 19-7 late in the second. On the move, Christopher Irving takes a snap, stands in the pocket, fires it to Landon Drake, looking to carry defenders to pick up even more yards, get inside the 20. Running back James Peeble caps off the drive with his 2-yard score to make it 25-7 Patriots just before the half. The final from Harlandale Memorial, there it is, 55-7. Edison apparently has dancing golden bear as he is able to have a little fun with the Kennedy Rocket cheerleaders. Bears on top 13-0, fourth quarter. Hungry for more. Roger Lopez keeps it on the option read. He finds some daylight on the left side, takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Bears finish off that drive with running back Ethan Escamilla, who runs it in from 5 yards out. That made it 19-0 ball game. Let's see if that has gone final as well. Edison with the big win, 22-7. The Bulldog fans are rabid tonight in Somerset. Take on the Highland now, and Somerset up 28-14. Third quarter, they want more on the Highland 6-yard line. The Bulldogs turn to Josiah Lugo, who takes a handout, pushes away up the middle, leaps in for the end zone, and they call him down, though, at the 1. Next play, Kobe Isbell plows his way in on the quarterback keeper, 35-14. Back to the big game coverage scoreboard to see how that one ended. Somerset with a win over Highlands. Edison outlasting Kennedy 22-7. Elsewhere, Legacy falls to Burbank 24-7. And Veterans Memorial over Harlandale 53-7. The Clemens Buffaloes kicked off their season at home by hosting the Madison Mavericks at Lenhoff Stadium. Third quarter, Clemens with the ball down 3. Not for long, Nathan Alvarez with the play action pass. He's going to go deep to Dontavius Jefferson in the end zone, 32-yard strike, 10-7 lead. The final from Lenhoff. Clemens gets that win 14-10. Sotomayor takes the field at Ferris Stadium for the first varsity game in program history against Lee. Wildcats led 7-6 late in the second quarter. Direct snap goes to Dennis Chavez. Laterals it back to Anthony Munoz, who finds Noah Medellin in the end zone for the 7-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion, no good, but it ends up being your game winner. The Volunteers take it 12-7. Tight ball game between Sam Houston and the Young Men's Leadership Academy. SAISD Sports Complex. Tied at 7 late in the third. The Hurricanes are on the move. The handoff goes to Michael Franklin. He turns the corner, turns on the Jets on his way in for the 25-yard touchdown run, 40-7. Let's see if that has gone final. It has, 28-7, Sam Houston. Macomb Cowboys kick off their season on the road against South San tonight. First quarter, no score, but the Bobcats are on the prowl. Running back Francisco Orozco gets around the corner, lowers his shoulder here to pick up a tough 11 yards for that first down. A little later in that same drive, the Bobcats are in the red zone. South San stays on the ground. Joseph Salinas, this time on the carry, plows his way up the middle and in the end zone for the 16-yard touchdown, 7-0 South San. Back to the big game coverage one more time, 34-21 South San with the win. They are still, though, I should point out, in the fourth, Sam Houston with the win over YMLA 28-7. Clemens over Madison 14-10, and Lee over Sotomayor 12-7 the final. Over at the Rock Pile, the world famous Jefferson Lassos have something to cheer about as they face the Lido Pirates. Second quarter, the Mighty Mustangs already up 12-0, looking to add to that lead. Quarterback Monte Carter fumbles the snap, able to scoop it up, break free to pay dirt as he races in from 18 yards out. That's a 19-0 Mustang lead, and they go on to win it 27-0. The stands are packed for Central Catholic home opener against Austin Regions tonight across the street from KSAT 12. Game tied at 7 just before halftime. Austin Regions with the ball, but they're deep in their own territory. Quarterback Quinn Murphy says that's not a problem as he finds Jackson Smith wide open down the middle. 89-yard touchdown, 14-7 Regions. Back to the big game coverage scoreboard to see if that has gone final. It has. Austin Regions with the big win, 35-20. Shutout for Jefferson over Lytle, 27-0. Cole on post falls to Holy Cross, 38-12. And Warren over Laredo United on the road tonight, 35-28. Up next, our big game coverage road trip. Fan cam, more highlights and more scores. But first, let's listen to the John Jay Mustangs Marching Band. Our big game coverage road trip has Larry and photographer Eddie Latigos south of town for week number 1, including stops in Floresville, Pleasant, and Jordan. And that's where we find out Larry Ramirez live in Indian Nation. Hey, Larry.
Hello, Greg, and good evening, everybody. You know, week 1 in high school football is always an exciting time. That's because following a very long offseason, these teams are just flat out ready to play football. Let's get to those highlights. Floresville was more than ready to break out of its tunnel and face Lanier tonight. Tigers ball just outside the red zone after blocking a punt. The handoff goes to running back Adrian Wilson, and the junior breaks off a sweet 21-yard touchdown, stopping right in front of Photog Eddie. He was all over it. Point after was good. Tigers lead 7-0. In Pleasanton, the Eagle was grounded tonight thanks to the Antonian Apaches. Late second quarter, Apaches quarterback Jace Toscano throws over the middle to Ricky Gonzalez for a 21-yard touchdown, and the Apaches lead 20-12. Okay, so they line up for the extra point. The Eagles block the kick, but Toscano picks up the ball, and he runs it in for a 2-point conversion. Apaches go on top 22-12. And right here, Jourdanton Indians hosting the Natalia Mustangs tonight. Third quarter, Natalia down 20-6. Quarterback David Rodriguez goes play action, then hits a wide open Austin Sutton for a 15-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion was good, and they trail 20-14. Ensuing drive, Jourdanton answers right back, but it didn't look promising at first. They fumble the ball on the pitch, but Juan Lerma picks it up, runs to his left, he hits the corner, and the young man takes off for a 56-yard touchdown run, way to save the play. Let's go to the scoreboard, everybody, for those finals. And Floresville goes on to beat Lanier 48-7. Antonian wins at Pleasanton 29-12. And right here, Jourdanton is a winner 48-20. So that is it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the Alamo Dome for the KSAT Pigskin Classic.
We will all be there. Time now for Fan Cam, where your fans help us cover one of the big games in a big game coverage tonight. Here's our Andrew Seeley.
Barely a cloud in the sky on opening night at Carrizo Springs. Wildcats hosting Uvalde. This one's a defensive battle. Scoreless after 1 until late in the second quarter. Quarterback Brody Carnes lobs it up to Jared Hernandez, who makes a great over-the-shoulder grab at the 5-yard line. The Coyotes find the red zone for the first time this season, and they capitalize. Next play, quick throw to Jaden Gonzalez for the 5-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion, no good, but Uvalde gets on the board first, and they lead 6-0. But Carrizo Springs has just taken the lead 7-6, and that is the score as Fan Cam departs. Wildcats leading Uvalde 7-6. From Frank Carter Stadium, Andrew Seeley, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Andrew. Let's take a look at that final score, and look at this. 21-13 is the final. Uvalde gets the first victory of the season. Divine over Memorial 42-0. And of course, the big game tomorrow, the big games, of course, is the KSAT Pigskin Classic, presented by your San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
Am I the only one struck by the fact Uvalde scored 21 points tonight?
I wanted to point that out.
Yeah. All right.
Uvalde.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
That's it for the Night Beat. We hope you have a great weekend. Of course, we will be out at the Alamo Dome tomorrow.
At the where?
Alamo Dome.
KSAT
Pigskin Classic.
Good night.
Hope to